Well, good Monday morning, Alaska. Hopefully you enjoyed your winter solstice, certainly dealing with a bitter cold snap across the state. And although we are going to be talking about warmer weather slowly heading into the state this week, we're still going to hold on to a good portion of Alaska with cold conditions as we close out December. Giving you a live look at what we're dealing with outside. We're still holding on to some of those crystal clear skies across South Central. Those winds did die down through the weekend, really yesterday for parts of the South Central region, where we continue to favor those breezy conditions. Now today, winds will not be much of a concern, but we will continue to hold on to at least some of those gap winds that will remain with us across parts of Seward, out towards Valdez, Thompson Pass, and of course Kodiak. We'll continue to hold on to some of those breezy conditions as well. But today marks that slow but gradual gain in daylight across the state. We'll start off with 9 seconds of daylight here in Anchorage for the day after that winter solstice. 5 hours and 27 minutes of daylight to be expected. Now, while we do start off very slowly as we welcome in April, we'll be sitting at over 15 hours of daylight, and then by June we'll be sitting at just under 19 and a half hours of daylight. So by the end of January, we'll be gaining anywhere from 3 to about 15 and a half minutes of daylight across the state. Of course, that 15 and a half minutes will be for areas of the slope out towards Utqiagvik. But yes, we are slowly gaining that daylight and pulling out of the darkest time of the year. Of course, that cold weather pattern still with us across the state. You can see for the month of December, we started off the month with those temperatures sitting above average, 30s and 40s. That's where we saw that freezing rain event, and we did see some light snow accumulation before that bitter cold settled in across South Central. Now notice the coldest day that we've seen so far was last Friday, when we topped out at 8 degrees. Today may actually be even colder across South Central, as we'll see many areas struggle to break above 0 degrees. And that average temperature for the month of December is setting at just under 17 degrees, 16.4 degrees for the average monthly temperature, which is about 4 degrees below where we should be for the month of December. And while a slow warming trend will take hold this week across the state leading up to Christmas Day, we're talking about colder conditions which will return to the state beyond Christmas and into the new year. But as far as this morning, we are waking up to 40 below in Fairbanks, 41 below in Glen Allen. We've got a cold weather advisory for many areas of the Copper River Basin. We've got extreme cold warnings and cold weather advisories for southeast as well. That outflow, that cold air outflow that has been moving in from the mountains, pulling in that colder air from Canada, has been driving in some of the coldest conditions that southeast has seen since about 2022. You can see 6 below currently in Juneau. With that being said, notice out west, 17 in Nome, 29 in Bethel, 30s and 40s as you head through the Aleutians. That's that incoming warm air that we are going to see that's going to spread across the state. That's also leading to some increasing snow showers. We've already got some snow through the Seward Peninsula, Norton Sound, through southwest Alaska. Here over the next couple of days, we could see anywhere from about 5 to 12 inches of snow accumulation, with some lower snowfall totals expected through southwest Alaska. We're also expected heavy snowfall for southeast later this week. The one big question remains, will we see snow in South Central? There is that potential that we could squeeze out some light snow showers as we welcome in your Thursday and Friday, but largely expecting the ongoing snowfall deficit to continue to increase across South Central, with that snow cover continuing to remain fairly low. You can see several locations across western Alaska and into the interior remain up under blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories, and winter storm watches. This is for a duo of storms that will lead to increasing snowfall. Now, storm number 1 is with us this morning, and then storm number 2 arrives on the western coast as we welcome in your Tuesday and Wednesday, and that will spread inland through western Alaska, or western interior, and the central interior, which will bring highs about 30 to 40 degrees warmer. So while you're waking up in Fairbanks in the interior this morning with temperatures anywhere from about 20 below to 50 below in some of the coldest locations, by Christmas Day you'll see those temperatures making a run near 0, if not some locations sitting in the single digits. The big question bears just how warm we'll get. This is very cold, dry Arctic air, and Arctic air is dense, so it settles in closer to the surface, and it takes a lot longer to erode away that colder air. So we do have that potential later this week. We could see temperatures climbing above 0 degrees in the interior. Even for locations that don't, we'll still see that warming trend carry highs right around those sub-zero values in the single digits. But increasing snow, you can see building into western Alaska. That will continue to steadily push eastward. As it does, notice it kind of fizzles out, and you can see as it builds into south central, it's just going to hit that dense layer of cold, dry Arctic air, and it's just going to fall apart. Of course, the western Alaska range will take care of most of that moisture. And then there's that secondary system arriving as we welcome in Tuesday afternoon on into Wednesday. So for many areas of the state, Christmas will be a snowy one for Alaska. You can even see out towards southeast, we'll begin to see some increasing snow showers that will lead into Christmas Day. Really, Christmas Day beyond is where we're going to see that better chance for snow building into southeast. So here's that snowfall forecast totals here over the next couple of days. Notice those darker blues and purples that you're seeing popping up. This is where we could pick up 10 to 12 inches of that snow accumulation. That does include portions of the central interior and out towards the western interior as well. And then while we're expected to see significantly less snow through southwest Alaska, we will still see some pockets of about 1 to 5 inches to be expected. So there's that snowy weather that's taking hold across the state leading up to your Christmas Day. But notice that lack of snow that we'll see across south central is where we're currently sitting at the least, one of the least snowiest Decembers on record, or least snowy December, with 2 inches that we've seen falling. That should say through December 21st, but regardless, we have yet to see any snowfall since about the beginning of this year. And you can see we're right on par with last year when we saw only 1.9 inches of snow as we welcome in, or as we closed out December of last year. We got Cersei asking, does any of that snow hit Palmer? Really not looking likely that we're going to see any of that snow hit Palmer. If it does, it's going to be very light snowfall accumulation. At that, we will see that potential that we could squeeze out about ½ an inch of snow accumulation to close out the week. But as far as Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we're largely going to be dry across south central with this overall weather pattern continuing to favor those dry conditions. 33 below today for the high in Fairbanks. There's that warmer weather out west. You can see about a 60 to 70 degree temperature swing with a high of 34 in Bethel and 33 below in Fairbanks. Even southeast continuing to hold on to those single digit highs, teens, if not some lower 20s. You want the warmer weather, we've got some balmy 40s out towards the Aleutians. That ridge in the North Pacific continuing to maintain a hold on the Aleutians. With that said, if you live in Cold Bay, Sandpoint, areas of the eastern Aleutians and the Alaska Peninsula, rain showers and gusty weather does remain with you. And we've also got some winds which will spread across western Alaska and into the interior this week, which will lead to some blowing snow and reduced visibility down to less than ½ a mile at times. The warming trend will largely take hold through the interior areas of western Alaska, even southeast, where we'll see temperatures the latter half of this week climbing back into the 20s. Across south central, at best, we may warm right around 10 degrees Wednesday and Thursday, but largely expecting dry conditions for your Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And then there's that snow, a slight chance for snow arriving as we go from Friday on into Saturday. So we'll continue to watch that trend as we have been seeing with any snowfall chances that do increase. This cold, dense Arctic air really eats away at any of that snowfall activity. So we are going to be watching Friday and Saturday. Right now, keeping it a very slight chance that we'll see some snow showers. We will see some increasing cloud coverage as well. And then on the backside of Christmas, we are going to be tapping into colder conditions once again. We're going to see those highs in the interior go from about 0 degrees Christmas Day back to a high of about 30 below into your Friday and Saturday. And here in South Central, we'll also see those temperatures dropping back below 0, if not some afternoon highs sitting right around that 0 to 5 degree mark as we welcome in the weekend. Giving you another live look outside where we continue to hold on to those cold conditions, those clear skies, plenty of sunshine, 9 seconds of daylight that we'll gain today. And again, by the end of this month, or by the end of January, we'll be sitting at 5 minutes of daylight across the Anchorage Bowl that we'll be gaining per day, while the slope will be sitting at 15.5 minutes of daylight per day, gaining by the end of January. So we're inching ever so slowly toward gaining that daylight. Of course, we're still holding on to those cold conditions, snow spreading across the state, and those warmer weather that will take hold the next couple of days. If you are going to be outside, bundle up. If you're going to be in any of those areas with extreme cold warnings, as well as cold weather advisories, as your extremities or any exposed extremities could easily get frostbite or hypothermia. So keep that in mind if you're going to be outside. We'll continue to track this incoming snow showers across the state and watching that chance for South Central as we welcome in the close of this week. For now, make sure you have a great Monday, great Christmas week. Enjoy time with friends and family. We'll continue to track the weather for you here, and of course we'll have more on this in the digital desk and in the evening shows later throughout the day. Have a great day.